Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a full moon reading. It is you and them, so there's going to be two sides to this particular reading. This is kind of like a relationship checkup, a love reading. So let's get right into it. Alright, so the first card that came out for you is the Hanged Man. It seems like you are kind of at a crossroads and trying to figure out what you want to do in this relationship. Let's get some more cards to find out. Maybe this person's been keeping you hanging in a way. You might have been ghosted. They might be dealing with somebody else. But in some way, you're sort of, maybe you're waiting on the other person to make a move. There's that too. You've put yourself in this position, though, yourself. Okay. For the other side, the first card, please. For the person that the viewer is dealing with. Five of Wands. They're conflicted. Maybe they're in a conflicting situation. Or there's recently been a fight between the two of you. The person that you're dealing with still feels like there's something that they need to, like a point that they need to prove. They still feel like they have to fight this out, or they're still bitter, they're still angry. Maybe you're over here just kind of waiting for the issue to resolve itself. Yeah, I think you see that there should be more of a way to build together instead of fight, basically. Okay, and for their side, for the person that they're dealing with side, so they have the root and rejoice and celebration on top of the Five of Wands. I think maybe you think that the relationship will not be successful, basically, so you are kind of taking a time out. You're working on your own things. You're kind of rebuilding. You're focusing on your life. You're focusing on your money. You're focusing on your abundance and your prosperity. And they still feel like they want to fight this out. They want to fight for the relationship. They would like to come together, establish roots together, really, is what I see for this other person. Okay, so in this lunation, and I mean in the 28 days following this full moon, what is another... Okay, that is too many cards. For the person watching and reading the next message. To guide them during this lunation. Okay, in some way you didn't feel like this particular individual had been fair or equitable to you in the past. You didn't really feel like there was even give and take, so you put your distance between you and this other person. And you know, I really get this feeling out of these cards that you feel like you would just be better off on your own. You're not going to continue to put up with the lack of like creation basically that was happening. I think there was, you guys had a lot of differences, a lot of impasses. Clarify this for my viewer. I think you felt held back in the situation by this person that you were dealing with. So you just decided you'd be fine on your own. I mean, Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands energy for you. That's like you, 7 of Coins, upright, Queen of Wands. You basically are better than the person that you were dealing with, for lack of a better way to put it. I don't know any other way to word this. And the Queen of Cups. Yeah, you're emotionally balanced. You, I think, felt like the person that you were dealing with didn't give you the energy that you needed in the relationship. There wasn't enough give and take. There wasn't enough. You weren't getting the results you wanted, basically. They were not committing. They were not expressing their emotions. There was no creation. There was no forward movement. There wasn't, they didn't inspire you. They weren't the love that you've always imagined you wanted. So they weren't matching you in a mature way. Okay, for this other person, how do they feel about this? How do they feel about this? How does the person they're dealing with feel about this? Wow, they really want to build with you. I know the first cards basically said that. It's foundation, achievements, fertility, and firm foundation. They really, really believe in where this can go and in you and in the partnership and in building a life together, it looks like. Or they are incredibly focused on building their own foundation and maybe not enough on romantic type things. You could be dealing with a person that was completely missing that point in life, basically. Like they're completely just focused on money, foundation, building a life together, legacy, let's settle down, have kids, that kind of thing. And you're like, whoa, 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 hold on there, buddy. There's some other things that need to be established first. Oh my God. 5 of Wands came out again. So maybe this person, since this is clarifying, quite the opposite of what my original interpretation was now that this has come out on top. Maybe this person is conflicted about creating a foundation and they're kind of just a partier and they don't have firm footing in their life. And you are far from that. You're looking for the equal give and take. You expect more of them, basically, and you're just not getting it. Okay, outcome. Yeah, you're just going to be looking. I see a lot of waiting on your side. It's like you don't. You see a lot of potential in this person. There is a deep connection, it looks like, but I don't think it's on the level that it needs to be, if that makes any sense. The deep connection is probably more all the good times, the fun, as opposed to practical earthly matters that are going to equate to building a life together. Yeah, and you're kind of refusing to make a decision about the situation. Really. This is possibly self-deception. It's like you're waiting for, you know, the cliche of like a ship to, you're waiting for a ship to come in that never set sail. Like you're waiting for something that's never going to happen. Okay, that is way too many cards. You have the Page of Cups, the Two of Pentacles upright, the Six of Swords, Judgment, the Empress, and the Four of Wands. Yeah, so it looks to me like you are going to need to make the effort to extend love yourself first. Like start the spark with yourself, find balance for yourself, and move to a situation that has less conflict, because it seems like you know, when you communicate with this person, Eight of Wands was the bottom of the deck here, it ends in conflict, you know, one way or the other. Like you have the best of intentions going into it when attempting to communicate with this person again, but it just doesn't work out. Like something always happens that creates an imbalance in the situation, be it you're emotionally imbalanced because a fight happens, or there can even be financial imbalances, like this person lords their money over you, or their independence over you, or, you know, they just are not willing to work as a team. And it looks like you'll be making the decision to move forward into just something better. And really, the decision is a good one, because next you have the Empress and the Four of Wands. So, and this is after the Six of Swords upright in the Judgment. So if you do firmly decide to make a decision to, I would assume, sever ties with this situation, or make a firm judgment in the direction of the relationship, it may be a firm, you may need to explain how you feel to make a firm judgment between the two of you and decide together, where are you going? And I do see really good things ahead, though. I mean, at any rate, if you decide to stop speaking to this person, or you decide to move forward together, it looks good either way. But I think in reference to dealing with this person, you're waiting on something that is never going to come in. And there is an element of self-deception. You're doing this to yourself, starting with the Hangman and, you know, the Seven of Coins and the Three of Wands to follow. Two of Swords, like, you are hanging in, I think, when you shouldn't, because you know that this isn't right. That's the long and short of it. They have the Ace of Wands. Let me see here. Anything else for the person they're dealing with? They have the Two of Coins, too. So there's something very... the two of you do need to find some, and they have the Three of Wands. Well, that's amazing. Three of Wands, bottom of the deck. Okay, more input. All right. So they have the Star and the King of Swords, maybe dealing with an air sign, or specifically an Aquarius, or... So, they seem to be a person that kind of flips around with, like, you know, whatever the spark creation is for them, sort of like their moods shift on a whim. But it looks like, too, you may be their muse, kind of, and you help them achieve balance in life, and you're their wish. And it looks like they're going to communicate that to you. This energy is like fast and furious though, really. Like with the Ace of Wands here, we've got 8 of Wands. There's this element of quick. Let's see, how is the situation going to turn out? What is the resolution of the situation in this lunation with these two people, with my watcher and the person they're dealing with? Give some guidance on the outcome. Heart chakra. Hope. Balance. See, yeah, there's a need for the two of you to achieve some form of balance. I don't know why the situation is so imbalanced. And deception and envy. So, I think a lot of you are dealing with somebody that isn't always very forthright, but you keep holding out hope for there to end up being a balance and for this to go somewhere. Okay, what else? What else does my viewer need to know about an outcome in the next 28 days? Yeah, unfortunately we have 9 of Swords, so, and it's upright. Not a great space to be in as an outcome specifically. This person, this person seems to have the best of intentions, but they have a very flighty energy too. And it kind of seems like they want to wildly sow their seeds, you know, all about. I have every sign on the board here, so I'm not really going to hang up on signs for anybody. I know you probably like that, but I think this is more about the energy than anything. So Ace of Cups in reverse and 3 of Cups. So 3 of Cups is upright. I kind of feel like this person is not as emotional as you would like or expressive as you would like. I think that's a big part. Yeah, 9 of Wands. I think that in fights they can tend to get verbally abusive. One or both of you. It causes a ton of anxiety and you fight and then you sort of like pour your heart out to the person. They don't reciprocate very much back, but it leads, you know, to a reunion. Everything is great for a little while and then it's kind of back to the same old, same old. What I see in this reading for my viewers is a big cycle, and I think it's definitely up to you to break that cycle. I was hoping not for a Debbie Downer reading like this, but I mean with the outcome that, yeah, 4 of Wands in reverse. So your succession of activity here, though, as far as, you know, by the end of this lunation, like what are you going to be looking toward, makes the most sense to me. And I hope that you do decide to use your best judgment and move away from the situation. I hope that this doesn't mean that you're going to errantly decide to move toward this person again and use, you know, poor, it doesn't show me poor judgment because judgment's upright. This could be some kind of divine intervention too. So pay attention if you have Aries, Taurus, or Virgo person come towards you, give them a chance. Guys, pay attention for that too, because I think it's somebody that you probably wouldn't even notice because you're so mired in this situation. You literally might be like text fighting with the person that you're already dealing with, and this other person, you know, is right there that you could chat up and have a lot better outcome with. So that's one interpretation. But I really genuinely hope if you're dealing with the situation as I see it in these cards here, that you're going to make the decision to move away, because it's a cycle. It's literally just a cycle. Okay, any final guidance? Yeah. Okay, the Lovers. So there is a choice that has to be made. The Lovers is upright. The Two of Cups is in reverse. The Knight of Swords is in reverse. So, it can be, I definitely don't see this working out well. I mean, this is like final advice, final outcome. A choice does need to be made. Yes, there is a connection with this person, but it is not a positive one. It's not leading you in a positive direction in your life. It is not helping you along your path. I don't believe that in any way this is, you know, your destined soulmate type relationship, because you would not be dealing with these issues. Stop telling yourself that if you can just fight it out long enough, that it's going to work out. You know, they are not emotionally available from what I see here. They probably talk a really good game. It looks like with this firm foundation and fertility and the star, they probably fluff you a lot. Like after fights or arguments, it's like, oh, you're the only one for me, and you know, I want to build a life together, and it's really just empty promises, because nothing actually happens. In this situation, you have to pay attention to this person's actions and not to their words. Very, very important. You have to find balance and heal your heart chakra after this too. There's something within you. It's kind of some shadow work you need to do. I'm going to pull some cards about that. An Oracle Advisor card. What does this work probably? What is this work that my viewer should probably do, self-work, to stop attracting this particular situation? Or what do they need to realize to help them move away from the situation? I have one other deck that I want to throw into the mix here, just because I think it will be helpful. What kind of inner work does my viewer need to do to help get out of this cycle in relationships? What kind of inner work does my viewer need to do? Ooh. So, oh boy. Okay, so there may be some obsession with this person. It has drained your, oh boy, this is terrible. So, and it shows the whole moon phase. That's interesting. We got colorless angel. This person is kind of like sucking the life out of you, and I think it's in the emotional context, like this obsession with this person. And gluttonous envy. They're, I don't know if potentially they're dealing with somebody else and they're building something that you're jealous of, or their attention is focused elsewhere. We'll put it that way. It might be work, it might be their children, it might be, you know, some situation that's outside of you and the relationship that you have with them, and it is, you're kind of obsessing over this person. They're in your thoughts, in your mind constantly. Like, you really think that they probably are like your twin flame or your soulmate or something like that. And I mean, it is a major negative detriment to you. Like you've desperately got to realign with yourself and get your balance back. Okay, one last card. What is some advice on the situation for my viewer? How to get out of this obsessive, abusive, strange cycle with this person that is just not enough. Whoa. Advice, please. One card of advice, please. So, Skull of Light is what came out, and that is the need for illumination. So there's, I think, time and reflection. If you, I really, really feel like if you pull back and do some self-work, whatever that means to you, this doesn't have to be, there's no particular way of what's right of how to do this for every different person. It could be, you know, if you are in spiritual practice, you know, get in touch with your spirituality a little more and less obsessing over this person, thinking about this person, checking up on this person. I think you're probably spying on them on social media, maybe even doing rituals if you do that kind of thing, or would like to have that done if you could find somebody that practices that kind of thing. You need to move away from that energy. The more you can distance yourself from that energy and occupy yourself with things that are positive for you, with your friends, your family, good times, fun things. If you're here in the Northern Hemisphere, you know, go out and enjoy this cooler weather. Be outdoors. Find something that you like to do. Go for a walk even. Just clear your head. Take a long bath. Take a long shower. You know, do a spa day if you're a girl. I asked for advice about this person and Joker. They are not serious. They're not gonna be serious. It's not coming around to it. They don't even know who they are and what they want in their own life. So how can they ever do right by you? Okay, what is one last card of advice for my viewer? The Skull of Light Illumination card is really, really a big deal because it's indicating to me that this is some kind of like lesson for you. I believe you've been far too trusting. I think this person is lying to you in some form or fashion, and if you continue to do this with them, there's something is going to come out. I don't know if it's after you leave the situation or it's going to come out and make you leave the situation. So, okay, this is also saying if you distance yourself from this situation, like post-haste, there are blessings of if your present condition is unpleasant, there's blessings of a happy future, and unexpected good fortune is in your future. Now, as far as this relationship, a turbulent married life came out. So, I mean, if you are considering marrying this person, I do not advise it at all, because it says basically it will be a shit show and a nightmare. Turbulent, like, who wants that? Like, that's not words that come to mind about an ideal marriage. when you're like a little kid and you're like, who do you want to marry? I want it to be an arguing, turbulent mess every day. It'll be exciting. No. Yeah, that's not the way to go. So, yeah, my advice of if you had a question about this relationship that you're watching this about, and you know exactly who we're talking about because it's who you've been thinking about this whole reading, probably get away from them quickly is the advice from the cards. Because great things will be coming in for you if you do let this go. You've got all kinds of prosperity and abundance and great energy just on the other side of this. And it's like, I think you'll be amazed at how your life turns around if you just do this and move away. Okay? So that's your full moon reading for the Pisces full moon for September. In Eastern Standard Time where I am at, this full moon is going to occur at 1 a.m. on Saturday. So really super late Friday night, basically early Saturday morning for us is when it's going to happen. And there's a lot of positive energy coming in for after this full moon. So let this go, guys. I'll talk to you for the next reading. Bye.